Hello guys, welcome to another video of Azure DevOps. In this video, we are going to discuss about a real world example of building and deploying one Java project into Microsoft Azure or whatever the destination you can deploy. You can select this to be deployed. That can be AKS or virtual machines or even the web apps and function apps. Okay, so we'll do one real-time project with Java application. We have this Java code already downloaded here in this pipelines-java repository. We'll be using this repository to build our Java application and deploy into one web app in Microsoft Azure. Okay, we'll be using three types for these four types of different ways to build our Java package. First, we will see how we can build our application using Maven. The second one is Gradle. Okay, the we'll see how we can build and package the application using Gradle. Third one is Ant. We'll be seeing the task for this as well, like how we can add this task. And the last one, that is Maven package. This is the Maven command which you can use to build your Java projects. Okay, so these are four different ways which we'll be seeing inside the video. Let's begin the video. Let me go to my repository. This is my repository where I have the code stored. You can see the pom.xml file where we have all the dependencies and everything. And for Maven, we will be using this file to build the package. Apart from this, we have the Gradle files which we have, and we'll be using these files to build our package and publish the artifact into the Azure pipelines. Okay, we have other files like folder for Gradle, the source folder, and others. Okay, let's now go to the pipelines. Before this, we can go ahead and build the application or web app in Azure. I will show you how you can create the web app for Java. Let me go to the app service. Click on web app here. You will have to create one web app with Java as runtime stack. We already have created multiple web apps, something like this for .NET or Python. Uh, if you need more details, you can go and watch those videos as well. So everything will be similar: resource group, web app name, everything you will have to select. And here in the runtime stack, you will have to select the Java here. You can see we have Java 21, Java 17, Java 11, and Java 8. If you are building your code on Java 8, you can use this Java 8 or Java 17, Java 20 based on the environment and code you are using. Okay, and click on review plus create. So this will create one Java web app for you. Once this is created, you can configure and you are good to configure your CI/CD pipelines to deploy your Java application. Let me click on the new pipeline. Here is my repository. Click on new pipeline. I will select my repository. You can create the classic pipeline as well from here if you want to create the classic pipeline using the classic editor. Okay, here is my repository, ADO Git, and I will search for my repository pipelines-go. You can see not go pipelines-java. This is my repository and I have selected it. Once I have selected, you can see this is giving me an option to build my project with Maven, because Azure DevOps just checks the repository and suggest you the task based on that. So we can either select the Maven just to build it, or if you have to deploy it in web app using Azure, or if you have web app created inside Azure, you can select the second task as well. Or if you want to build it from scratch, you can go with starter pipeline. If you already have the YAML files, you can always go with this existing Azure pipelines YAML file. Okay, now let's select the Maven and see how this is coming. Okay, you can see we have added the Maven as the build tool, and you can see the trigger has been added to main, but let's change it to none, so we don't want to unnecessarily trigger this pipeline whenever we commit the code in main branch. Okay, the pool is Windows or Ubuntu latest, which we have inside Microsoft hosted agent pools. And here in the steps we have the Maven 3 task which we are using to build it. If you click on setting, you will get the UI where you will have all things combined. If you want to build this pipeline from start, and if you didn't get this task, you can also add it by just clicking searching this Maven package here. Okay, if you are building or getting some dependencies from some internal repositories, you can also use this task Maven authenticate to authenticate your pipeline with that repository. Okay, suppose you have added it, this task will just authenticate this pipeline with your repository, internal repository or some private repository, so that your pipeline will be able to pull or push the packages from this pipeline. Okay, so make sure you are adding this task Maven authenticate before this task if you have some dependencies inside this private repository. Okay, since we don't have it, all we have is in public, so I am deleting this task. Okay, but remember you will have to add this if you want to authenticate with your private repository. Okay, here let's search with Maven, and we have two tasks, one is for Maven and Maven authenticate. You can add this Maven task, and now you can see we are getting all the options. We have options to select the Azure Resource Manager connection, pom.xml file, package, publish and all inside this task. Okay, if you add it, let me just add one task and show you. If you add it, same this type of task will be added here. Okay, this is Maven 3, that's why we have less options. Since we just use this Maven 4, it has given other options as well, like Azure subscription and all. Okay, so let's use the third one itself. If you want to go ahead for fourth, you can do with fourth one as well. Let me now click on save and run this pipeline and see if pipeline is able to build the code or not. It's running. It has started running, and it is, you can see, running inside the Microsoft hosted agent because we have selected it there. Let's wait for a few minutes. You can see we have this Maven task, and it has started to pull all the dependencies from the central repository. Okay, whatever we had specified in pom.xml, it is just downloading it. And after downloading, you can see the build has been completed and all the files are built. Okay, once this is done, your core is built, you can publish it. You can zip this file and you can even publish it. You can add other tasks. Suppose you want to deploy your Java code inside a web app with zip deploy. You can just add one task to archive it. Let me add this task, archive files. This is my source directory, and remove this prepend root folder, archive type as zip, and this is the file it will archive. Let me click on add. So this will just zip our file. Okay. Uh, Once file is zipped, we will add another file or another task to publish the build artifact. For that, we can simply search with publish, and this is the task. This is the publish build artifact task, and this is the path build.artifact staging directory where we are archiving it, the main build artifact, and we will be publishing inside this drop artifact name inside the Azure pipelines. Let me add this. Okay, so this task will build the package, build the application, this will archive it, zip the file, and this will publish the build artifact inside container. And after this, you can download this build artifact either in release pipeline or in same pipeline to deploy it in your Java web app. Let's validate and save. Pipeline YAML is valid. Let me run it and check if our artifact is being published or not. This is queued. Once this is complete, you will be able to see that one artifact will be published here in this related tab. At the moment, we have 0 artifacts. Let's wait for a few seconds. The Maven task is running. So this way we are doing it with Maven task. After this, we will see once again with Gradle, and we will also see with Maven package and let me build this task first. This will just build this. This task will archive the files and it will publish it there. This has failed. It is saying nothing to do, archive creation failed for archive file. Okay, let me check the path. I think we have given the wrong path in there. This is my archive file, root folder or file to archive. Let me give something like this system.default working directory. Because we are just building this code inside the default working directory. Let me edit again and see if this works or not. Okay, so we have seen how we can build with the YAML. Uh, our pipeline is running. The next one is Gradle. Gradle is also the package management tool for Java, which you can generally use to build your package, publish your package, and do other things related to the developments like building and packaging your code before the deployment. Let's wait for, yeah, you can see pipeline is complete, and this has successfully built your code. This has completed the archive as well, and this has published the build artifact inside the drop location. Let me go there and see. You can see one published here inside this artifact section, and this is my drop folder, and this is the zip file which is being published, and this file you can use to deploy this Java artifact inside the destination. That can be web app or your virtual machines or somewhere else. Even in not in a case for that you need to build Docker containers, but for web apps and all other places you can use this same artifact. Okay, so our CI part is complete. Continuous integration pipeline is complete. This will just build the application. Okay, and you can also create CD pipeline in the same one, in same YAML, like we have seen multiple pipelines with multiple stages. We can create one stage to build it and name that stage at build. We can create multiple stages as well for deploying this into the dev, QA, production environments. But in this demo or for this tutorial, I will just keep one separate release pipeline to deploy the code into the web app. Okay, so we have built it. Let me now go to the releases. Okay, here you will be able to find the classic release pipelines. Click on new release pipeline, and here you will have to add your artifact. You can add the artifact. This is my project. It is asking to give you the pipeline name, source build pipeline. Let me check what was the pipeline name. Click on this drop down, and this is the my pipeline, pipelines-java. Default version is latest, and source alias is this one. Click on add. You can see this pipeline has been added, and by clicking on this button you can also enable the continuous deployment, so that whenever this pipeline which we just have created is complete, our release pipeline will be automatically triggered, and this will deploy to your respective stage. Suppose this is my dev environment. uh, this pipeline will be triggered and it will automatically deploy to the dev environment. We will clone and create another environment with the name QA, and once dev is complete it will deploy to the QA environment. Once QA is complete, you can deploy it to the preprod. Once preprod is complete, you can take this artifact to the production. So this is the follow generally you can follow to deploy your artifact inside your web app. So this is the release pipeline for Java, and all the stages will be something like this. You can add multiple stages if you have multiple regions as well in one of the environments, and inside this stage you can add the task to deploy your web app. You can use this task as well, app service task, or simply search the web app. Yes, you should be getting one task to deploy the web app. This is the task. Click on add. Here you'll have to add your all the things like subscriptions, app type. Suppose this is Linux, and app name is, let me give the app -001. Okay, package folder you will have to provide it. You will have to select the runtime stack as Java if you don't want it. You can leave this as blank. You can add the app setting configuration settings from here and click on save, so that one of the pipeline will be deployed. And you can see you have the task to deploy your code inside the release by I mean inside the dev environment. Okay, so our release pipeline is complete. We will see once if I mean by re-triggering it, that release pipeline will be triggered automatically or not. Let's go to pipelines, edit this. We already have seen how we can build this with Maven. Now let's see how we can do this with Gradle. Click on Show Assistant and search for Gradle. This is my Gradle wrapper strict file. Uh, Task will be running is build, and all the things will be common. The default. If you want to use these things like run sonar cube on sonar cloud, you can do these things. Since we are not doing it, I will be keeping this as default. This is my Gradle task, which will be used to build the same Java package, same Java application with Gradle. Let me validate it and click on save and see if this works with this or not. This our pipeline is successful with Gradle or not. Once this pipeline is complete, this is our build pipeline, and this should be the flow. If developer has made the change, this build pipeline should be triggered automatically. And once this build pipeline is complete, the release pipeline which we just have created now with the name as release-java should be triggered automatically. And this should deploy your Java application, Java artifact inside all the stages which we have created, such as dev, QA, pre-prod, and production. Okay, and this should be the flow for your pipeline. Pipeline is running, and you can see it's being built with Gradle. Let's wait for some time, some seconds, so that it builds our application. And once done with Gradle, I will show you how you can add the task for Ant as well. But for this, generally we need another file related to this build.xml file, and I don't have this file inside my repository, so I will just add the task and show you how you can do that. Let's see. This pipeline is complete, and you can see this has successfully built. This has archived the file as well, and this has published it inside the Azure pipeline. If you click on one published, you can see this has been published. Let's now go to my release pipeline and see if that is triggered or not. You can see release-java is triggered and it has run. It has failed because we have not configured this pipeline to run correctly, and the web app which it is searching for does not exist in my Azure environment. Okay, you can go and watch my previous videos, because this releasing the application or creating the release pipeline is almost similar for any web apps. That can be Java, Python, Node.js, or .NET. Even many types of apps can be deployed with the same task and same process. Just the building them is different. Okay, so this is done. Let me now edit this pipeline and try with the ant. So we have seen with Maven, we've seen with Gradle. Just search for and here inside your search box. You can see here you will have to provide this and build file, that is build.xml. If you want to provide any options or arguments, you can do that and click on this add button. And this task is added here, and this will build your Java application with and. Since we don't have this and XML file inside my repository, uh, I will not be able to show you building with this approach. Okay, but you can try this if you have this file inside your repository, or if you want to try your application building with this package manager. Okay, this is done. The last one is using this Maven package. I'll show you how you can do that. This is nothing but building your application or building your Java app with Maven. Okay. For to do that, let me just add PowerShell or shell command. Suppose this is my PowerShell. I will just run one inside inline script and simply run this command and add it. And let's validate it and check if this is working fine. If we use this Maven package management to build internally, this task also runs this task Maven package to build your code. This is one of the approach you can follow to build your code if you don't know how to use Maven or Gradle. Okay, you can see this PowerShell task which we have added to build our Java application is running successfully, and this is being all the dependencies are being downloaded from the central Maven repository as well. Okay, this will just build the application, this will and archive, and it will publish all the artifacts. Once this is done, again this our release pipeline should be triggered. At the moment only one release-1 is created, and after completing this, our release 2 should be created as well. Okay, now let's see. You can see the release-2 has been created, and this has running as well. You can see this has been queued, and it is automatically triggered with continuous deployment, and it has selected the artifact, this one 127.5, which is published at this time. Okay, this is the artifact name, you can say 127.5, and the same has been picked for our release pipeline, and this has started in this region or this dev environment as well. Okay, so we have seen how we can build our Java application using 4 different ways. One with Maven, second is Gradle, and using the Maven command line tools with Maven package command. Okay, we have also seen how we can create the web app for Java using Microsoft Azure or in Microsoft Azure, and we have also seen and created one release pipeline for deployment of Java based application inside our web app. Okay, that's it from this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe my channel. If you have any feedback, questions, or just suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.